Yeah, hello, welcome to this broadcast. I mean, in case I'm live, I hope I am. As usual, the question is, everything's all right or not? Yeah, a quick message from the chat would be great to learn if that is really working. Yeah, I'm on a little bit later than usual, 1 hour later than the usual 10 in the evening, Central European time. But we had an evening of football tonight, so I felt it's not a bad idea to start 1 hour late. We had many teams in Europe playing, so I guess it's not bad to not collide with that. Okay, I will start with a game here as soon as I get some feedback about the state of the live broadcast. Yep, someone says bist live, so I'm live. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go for a 5-minute game playing Petit Capri here, and I am from this is Cyprus, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I've played him before. Okay, I'm playing a queen pawn opening here, playing something slowish to start with. Oops, yeah, something solid to get into the right kind of drift for this kind of blitz game. Yeah, someone says he's live. Yeah, good. So I'm just developing my pieces here. It's a very healthy setup. Now bishop a6 was a threat actually, but he didn't react to it. I mean, okay, threat is a bit strong, but an idea, let's say, that that black did not really felt like preventing. Okay, he tries to play b5, I guess. Well, okay, b5. It's something that he can do. It doesn't really hurt much. Okay, so maybe bishop to g3. Yeah, I'm just being solid here. b4, I have c4. It's a very equal position. Yeah, that's not an opening I regularly play, but I wanted to try it out here. It's quite funny what the black player is doing is exactly the setup that I am playing against it. So it's a little bit like playing playing myself here. Someone asks, does rapid chess help in classical time games? Yeah, I think it can help, especially if you have problems with your time management. Then it can help to play some rapid chess to get a better, to get better with decision making in limited time. In this case, it can really help. Yeah, I'm regrouping a little bit. It's really not much going on. Well, black is somewhat more active, a little bit. Not a very exciting game. Rapid chess can also help for classical time games to test out opening ideas. Yeah, it's often a good idea to check new things, new ideas in rapid chess, because it is usually a less important game than a classical time control game. And if something goes wrong, I mean, it's not that terrible. Okay, I wonder, what is he going for? Bishop somewhere, I don't know really. I have a look at the d6 pawn. Okay, it's going back. Yeah, I don't know. I can also take. I mean, it's really unexciting, this position. Is he going for b4? Maybe. Okay, maybe I can get in h5. Still feels very equal. I'd rather be black a little bit, but it's not a big deal. Is he going b4? I can go queen d3 or something. Still don't feel that this is anything important. Yeah, maybe he can go queen c4. Okay, I'm going to take on g6 first. And now here. I mean, I can do this. That's not a big deal. Queen c4, is that his idea? I don't know. Sorry. Maybe he can go queen c4, but I can go queen d2, for example. There's a question. Did I see if John Bartholomew reviewed my book on the channel? Yes. Yeah, I sent John the book to have a look. And he told me a couple of days ago that he wanted to do it in short order. So he finally managed last weekend, it seems. Interesting. Bishop there. I wonder if knight to g4 some kind of idea. Knight h2, knight g4. It could easily be a wrong approach. No, he played that well. I mean, I really have no active idea. Okay, let's do this. So knight g4, f5, knight h6, fe4. I don't know. Knight g4, f5. Knight h6 takes on e4. It looks like I could have some chances there. King g7 is a bit surprising to me. Takes h6, fe4. Queen takes e4. King takes. King. I don't know. I think that's interesting. Yeah, it was far too slow. I should have played that much quicker. And instead, he just gives me that bishop here. That's a weird move. That was probably some kind of mouse slip. Threatening on f7, and now he gives me the queen. Well, that was weird. He really had a better position for most of the game, but then blundered two pieces in short order. Okay, Domti. Is this Egypt or Iraq or something? There's no way to find that out here. It seems it doesn't display. Egypt. Yeah, I think it was a mouse slip. Yeah, this bishop g5. Okay, I'm going for the Taimanov. That's a line that I'm currently thinking about incorporating into my repertoire. I'm actually wondering if the Taimanov could be a good subject for a book. It is really interesting line in Sicilian, and certainly of interest to many people. And as I learned when I wrote, sorry, my voice is somewhat shaky. As I learned when I wrote the Nimzo book, if you write a book about an opening, you really will learn it. I mean, you definitely gain some good knowledge there about it. Okay, what about this here? Queen a4 maybe? That could be a good idea. No. Bishop b4 check. Is there some kind of tricks? Queen a5. No, I don't see a great trick. So I can take on d2 here and go rook b8. That is certainly okay, but I was thinking, yeah, but I don't think there's something substantially better. Yeah, black has, I guess, equalized in this position. King c3 is a bit surprising, as I'm planning this and rook c8 anyway, and it feels like it feels a bit weird why he would run into those tempo moves. Maybe a rook here. Okay, let's push with tempo. Why not write about the yeah, if you want to buy a signed copy of my book, just write a mail to me. You can also go to my channel, and there will be, the video will be on the channel page that gives an overview about the book. And someone posts a link saying thanks about it. Yeah, it's much easier. It's hard for me to multitask things like that, playing the game, chatting, everything at once. Yeah, why the Taimanov and not the Naidorf? One thing is, the Naidorf is of course a good line, no question, but it has been kind of, if you want, it's kind of it has been covered to death, yeah, in books and DVDs and so on. And one problem of the Naidorf is a little bit that it has a very large amount of forced lines, where you have to learn, where you have to learn things by heart. And in the Taimanov, you have, this is a bit less forcing, and it means that you quite often can get by with some general ideas. And I always like it if there's some kind of logical thread, let's say, in an opening that helps you to learn it better. And as I said, in the Naidorf, this can be a tricky thing, as you really have to know everything move by move. So what happens here? He wants to take on g5, then check me here. If I take it, rook h3 is mate. Mate is not good. Not good for me, at least. That's not so easy. Yeah, g4 is not what I wanted, really not. But I don't see a move here, really. Don't see a good move. I mean, maybe rook here or something. I don't know. Tricky. No, that's a question. Yeah, I'm considering. Yeah, I'm considering to do another book project somehow, but I'm not really sure about it. I was thinking I want to learn the Taimanov or some Sicilian line, and I was thinking if it's maybe an idea to combine that learning experience with authoring a book about it. but there's nothing really. Yeah, there's no. There are no very concrete plans, is what I'm trying to say. So now e5 and e4. I want to be active. That was the idea here. Be active. I mean, he has an extra pawn, but it's not so clear how helpful the pawn is. My king is very active. f4, f3 is maybe here rather. For e3. Huh. That is very active, the king there. How does he stop that e-pawn actually? Okay. Maybe king e1 actually. Not sure. King e1. Yeah, rook c6 is an interesting move now. Just trying to trade. Rook c2 check is now prevented. And the pawn is dangerous. It really is. I go there. Okay, let's push this first. And then king f2 and e2. Also just attacking the g-pawn. Oh, that's two protected passes. Or connected passes. Yeah, I've seen John's review. It was a very very nice, positive one. Yeah, and now he has to trade one rook. And then the pawns will do the job. Yeah, he resigned. Okay, let's see. New game. That's a good start. Someone asks, are you pro? Are you pro? Well, I'm not a chess professional in terms of a chess player, but I teach professionally. And yeah, write books and videos, stuff like that. So I don't earn money by playing. I'm really not good enough for that. I mean, I can win the occasional prize, but I'm not playing a lot. But mostly I'm teaching. Yeah, and I'm kind of tempted to do a new book. But as I said, unsure. Unsure about things. It's also, the thing is, writing a book is something that is not a very economically sensible decision. You really don't earn that much money from it, but it's nice to do. You've got something, you produce something, which is a rare thing. I mean, if you have a job that is typical to produce something, like you build a house or whatever, you really see a result of your work. And it's a nice thing if you write a book and you have something in your hands at the end of the process. So yeah, I'm requesting a new 5-minute game, but I don't get one. Please get me a game. Not much traffic here. Maybe many European players are still watching the rest of the Euro qualifiers. Half Europe was playing tonight. I watched the game Scotland Germany. Hematite Brown is the opponent from Antarctica. This is cute. Okay, let's fianchetto. Yeah, Germany won that match 3-2. Scotland did a good job there. They were able to twice equalize the score. There's a question, around what rating are my students? It's a very wide range from, let's say, 1300 up to 2100, 2200. I have no particular limit there. That question, do I know where most of my viewers are located by Google Analytics or something like that? Yes, I know. Most of them are from Germany, or Germany, UK, and the United States. So a 95. I think that this is actually not great, but I wonder. Bishop cheeks. Yeah, that is not great, but I wonder, is it bishop h6 or bishop d2? What is the reason exactly why this is not great? Maybe bishop h6. I'm not sure. I only know that that knight takes d5 is not really great. Yeah, this is played on the ICC, the Internet Chess Club. An important line is bishop g7, takes, b4, knight c4, queen d4 check, and white is much better. If he takes a1, queen a1, f6, that will be some compensation for me, but this move, okay. I would have thought that rook c1 should be pretty good. One problem is bishop g7, I will take b4 and the knight is trapped. I don't really know where he's going now with his bishop. Where is he going? It seems very very weird. I don't know. I don't see a move. I mean, if he goes back to f6 or whatever. Yeah, here I have at least b4. Rook c2 is also good. Yeah, rook c2 is strong actually. That will win a piece, I guess. Yeah, and this is the knight. Okay, so he's got 2 pawns. Yeah, b5 is still rather. I mean, he has some play. Let's say this is what I want to try to say. How to do this here? Let's go e4. Prevent bishop f5. I mean, in blitz chess, at least he has a reasonable idea. He can just push b5 and just push his pawns forward. Bishop a4 now is an idea. Yeah, true. Where to put this? Not so easy. Rook e2, bishop b5. Maybe queen d2 with a tempo. Yeah, maybe queen a4 now. Then I go rook e1, something like that. It's not that easy. It's not that easy to do. I want to go bishop c3 and trade that off. Getting rid of one of his bishops would be helpful, I guess. The good thing is, whenever he pushes c4, I get knight to d4. c4 94, and now I'm... no, let's do this. This is better. If I can trade that bishop would also be really helpful. 92, 94. That's nice. That's nice, yeah. That should be a pretty doable technical task. Yep, up to c4. And okay, you can push this forward, but I'll also be quick there. I need quick play here with e5. Yeah, I don't know, maybe b3 is an idea, pushing very quickly. Maybe. If he does not do that, I don't really know. I mean, I will probably win stuff. Takes, knight takes even, for a tempo, and then rook c5. That looks quite convincing. Someone says video gone. That doesn't sound right. You should have you tried to refresh? Okay, now it's, he says returned. Okay, yeah, b2. That is still kind of tricky. Let's do this for possible rook b2. Yeah, these advanced pawns are always some danger associated with them, as I already said early on. Yeah, sometimes Twitch is acting up, and the only way to handle this is to refresh. Yeah, unfortunately. So here, let's push this. Bishop c2, no, he takes. So let's, if I take here, then rook a1 maybe, grabbing the open file. Yep, yeah, it's not totally easy here. Rook a6. Maybe. I don't see any dangerous invasion at the moment. g5, rook f5. I don't know. I have to be quick. He cannot take d5 because of bishop c4. Rook f4 maybe. That's maybe a point. Okay, check on e6. I also have bishop b5. Check if I need it. Yep, I need it. d6, d7. Probably d6. King b6, there's d7. Check. Yeah, I think my pawns do the job. My pawns is wrong. It's a single pawn. Yep, and he resigns. Nice. Okay, that is a nice winning streak. 3 wins for the start, if I'm not mistaken. Did I had the 3 wins, right? Yep, 3 wins. Okay. Yo, any questions, guys? It's been quite slow here on the Twitch chat. Are there any questions that I might be able to answer? Yeah, what about the World Cup? Are you looking forward to watch the Chess World Cup? It will start just in 2 or 3 days, I believe. There's a question. Have sales on the book been positive? Yeah, I think so. I didn't hear from my publisher. Or they are kind of slow in giving me information. But I heard from German retailers that it sold pretty nicely. I also have sold. I also have sold quite a bit of signed copies. That's a question. Would you be doing commentary for the World Cup? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I mean, I don't. I won't do daily coverage, but if there is something that looks interesting, why not? Opinion about the King's Gambit. Yeah, that's simple actually. The King's Gambit is, well, it's not a bad surprise weapon maybe, but for regular use it's just a little bit too unsound, I guess, for white players. So I would only recommend to play it very occasionally, yeah, like. Someone says, it is irritating to see chess players talk during a match in a movie like Pawn Sacrifice, or is that the only way to make a chess movie interesting? Yeah, that's difficult to say. I mean, I didn't see the movie, so it's hard to comment on it in particular. In general, I think it's not so easy to do chess in a movie. It's not an easy proposition. Simply because it is, as we all know, it is a rather difficult game. And I mean, it can be maybe made interesting for, I mean, with things like psychology or interesting characters or so on. And I don't know, maybe this way, maybe you have to adjust some things a little bit to make it more interesting. But it should have some kind of, realistic flavor to it. If you have, I mean, if they really portray a world championship match there, like the Reykjavik match, and it is somehow implied that Spassky and Fischer would talk over the ball, this would be kind of ridiculous. So 95. Yeah, this is a very weird opening result. He gave me the c5 square, which I found helpful, but he still has some pressure. I wonder if I did something wrong here. Very strange. That's a question. Am I interested in math at all? Well, I mean, not on a. I mean, I wouldn't look at some math problems, let's say, for recreational ideas or so. I don't think I'm not particularly interested in mathematical problems for entertainment or something like that. Yeah, and this position does suck. It really does suck. Whoa. He has a huge advantage here with the advanced pawns. I couldn't get a blockade going. Wow. Yeah, c6 in particular. Yeah, white is much better here. Really. Wow. Okay, let's block this a little bit. Yeah, I do think that the actor who's playing Spassky looks really a little bit like Spassky. Or at least they managed it with makeup or whatever. Leif Schreiber, I think is the name. Or Schreiber. He looks kind of similar. Yeah, c6 is coming. This is really a problem. Or b6 is also a problem. Wow. c6 is just winning. And I couldn't do anything against it. I really couldn't. Wow. And he really played it very strange at the very beginning. I don't know. Yeah, there's a question, is there, if I have some recommendation for a chess tactics book. Yeah, I think that the online resources are completely enough to do things on tactics. I recently got a book. This is Resignable. What a terrible game. What went wrong there? That's really strange. Especially considering that what white did here with b5 and c4 is it looks completely anti-positional. But maybe I'm wrong there, and I made mistakes here. Knight e5 and knight e4. Maybe knight e4 was wrong. I cannot believe that I'm worse here. Okay, let's see. Let's go. Tip from. If I have a tip for preparing for a tournament, no preparation, an open event. It's not a bad idea for preparation for an event to get your tactics into some sharp state. So I usually recommend to increase the tactics training so that you have a better, that you kind of have a good feel for what happens in the calculational sense of a game. So if you want my advice, do some tactics training. It depends a little bit on your playing level. You can just use an online site, of course. A good idea for a stronger player to do tactics training is to solve endgame studies. This is also what the very top players do. There have been some video recordings of Magnus Carlsen's preparation for the World Championship match in 2013, and they did many endgame studies. Someone says, it's amazing how you know the opinion of every professional player on that very issue. I'm not sure what this is referring to the preparation thing. I know that this tactics thing is very common recommendation. I think it goes back to Botvinnik. Some good book for endgames. Yeah, I always recommend the same two books. This is the 100 Endgames You Must Know by De La Villa Garcia for basic endgames, and the Endgame Manual by Mark Dvoretsky for complicated endgames. And I think this is basically what you need. You don't really need much more. There are more good endgame books, but this is totally enough. So I have to think about this a little bit here. Or yeah, let's push stuff here. There's a question. Do I have a record on my Blitz games? Can I make a playlist for my favorite Blitz games? Would be probably interesting, huh? There are so many of them. It's really lots of work to go through all the games. I didn't find the time to do that. There's a question. if I want to be 2000, if those two endgame books are enough for 2200 rating. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I think that, I mean, if you, I mean, I've got 2400 rating in over the board long time control chess, and I don't know all of those books for sure. Well, my theoretical endgames are not that good anyway, but it's just, I mean, it's totally enough, really totally enough. Okay, so we trade some stuff here, and this is, of course, welcome. The queenside pawn structure is very favorable for me. I just have to make sure that I'm not getting checkmated, which can happen. I mean, it really can happen. So what I need is a knight on f4 or on c3. This would be really helpful to attack d5, but I would also like to trade queens. After a queen trade, my position is strategically very, very nice. Oh, he does that. That's surprising. Yeah, his c-pawn is terminally weak, actually. The only question is, does he have something with bishop b4, something annoying? Yeah, so I'm going here. The 100 endgames you must know is by Jesus, I mean, I cannot really pronounce that correctly, de la Villa, Spanish player. There's also a question for a good book that helps evaluating positions. This is not so easy. Many, I mean, an important part of evaluating position is really, or an important virtue is to simply know lots of positions and study games. Why do the top players study endgame compositions? Because it is very helpful for disciplined calculation. Yeah, you really have to calculate very precisely in those endgames, and it helps you to get some creative ideas, because the ideas, as you say, they don't pop up that often in real life play, but they simply help you to be creative. Okay, I'm looking a little bit at that e6 bishop there. Rook c1. Yeah, this is a nice position, but I don't see how to break through here. Knight c3 doesn't really help. Yeah, maybe I can, after the bishop moves, I can sacrifice on e6, then take d5. That is interesting. It's a bit tricky. I don't see a way forward, as nice as it looks. Bishop d6, yeah. How do I make some progress in this position? Most of my chess books are in English. I mean, like 95% of them. There's not that much published in German. Maybe I can I do this, maybe? Getting the bishop to f5. I don't know if that helps much. Probably not. I wonder if h4 is an idea. Knight e2 and an h4 to get the knight to f4. But probably also not helping that much. It's a bit risky. h4. Maybe not netting me that much. Okay, so I will sacrifice the exchange now and try to win like that. It is indeed a bit dicey, but let's see. I'm not sure that this is good, actually, that closing of the position. This should actually be helpful for me. So it's a rather nice position again, but can I win? This is the real problem, the real question. I've got quite a number of pawns rolling. Not pre-moving on this. That's a very nice position, but can you win? That's a real problem. Real question. I hope that this works. He's doing some pre-move tricks. Great stuff, baby. After being completely dominated. What a win on time. Okay, anyway, that's the right result actually, but it was a weird time scramble. Okay, what do we have? What do I think about the Scotch game? Yeah, the Scotch is a very interesting alternative to the other e4, e5 openings. The good thing about the Scotch game is that white is actually ensured of an open game. Yeah, in something like the Rui Lopez or some Italian game with c3, d3, for example, it's rather a closed game. And in the Scotch game, you really know that the position will be open. So this is a nice feature of the Scotch. Yeah, you really get the c3 Sicilian very, very often. Since I've been trying out the Sicilian a bit in recent games, I really had to learn that everybody and their uncle, they play the c3 Sicilian. It's really a pest, and I have not studied it yet. Ooh, that's not very exciting. Yeah, at least here black doesn't have any particular problems, I think. Someone says a good player is always lucky. I don't know who said that. What I actually like for chess is, I mean, there's this song by Daft Punk, Get Lucky. We work all night to get lucky. This is probably right for many strong chess players. Okay, let's trade stuff here. Yeah, it's not very exciting, but what can you do? I have equalized, I guess, and now we'll try to to do something. And now I actually have a little something. Maybe gaining the bishop pair. So I'm taking here. Or is he taking c5? No. So I really gained the bishop pair. Yeah, I really think that, and it's very often the case that some people have the image that they are lucky in some way, and it is quite often not a case of luck, but simply hard work. A funny example that will be very well known to German people is the very well known football player and later coach of the German national team, Franz Beckenbauer, who's always been attributed with being very lucky. And the thing is that everybody who ever worked with him, as a coach especially, said that he was a very, very tough worker who studied the opponent's teams in much detail with video analysis and so on, which nowadays is totally standard, but like 25 years ago it really wasn't, and he was working like every possible minute to improve his team's chances. So it's not just luck for those for many people who are attributed with being lucky. They really do work very hard. So my bishop pair. Do I really have something? I mean, does this really help? Checking here is bishop back. It's not helping that much. Yeah, let's just bring the king up. Bishop a6. I wonder if that is a move for him. I go b4. That's surprising. I didn't expect that move. I can go f5 or... let's start with this maybe. Then f5 and then e5. Yeah, the two bishops, but how exactly am I doing something with it? I think this and then e5 is good. Can essentially pre-move this, gaining more space. Okay, back here. Yeah, Simon Actestein, he was a pro footballer and also an excellent chess player. I think he played in the second English league, if I'm not mistaken. And he played on the national team, the Norway national team. Okay, let's go here. I want to start playing the French. What should I study? I mean, the French, there are a couple of books on the French, of course. A very prolific French author is, of course, John Watson. Very well-known international master from the US. He's also involved with the ICC. He does commentary, and he also will have a video series coming up on chess openings. He also made a video series for the ICC on the French that you might want to check. Someone says they made they started to play 1d4 in tournament play, but feel that it's difficult to get adjusted to the positions. Yeah, it takes a while. It really takes a while. The question is, why exactly do you want to play both? If you are okay with e4, it's not a bad idea to branch out a little bit, but maybe you will never get to that level that you have with your main move. I know from experience, I sometimes like to play 1d4 for a change of flavor, and I always feel that this is not yet my home turf. So it's difficult. An idea is, if you want to get more knowledge about d4 style positions, to pick maybe 2-3 players, depends, 2-3 players that can serve as a role model for your play. Yeah, for example, someone like Boris Gelfand is an excellent sample player. He plays only very sound stuff. He's never playing any fishy stuff, let's say. He still wants to make some pressure in his games. So it's good, ambitious, but not crazy. This kind of middle of the road approach, or if take Dreyev, the Russian grandmaster, those, yeah, if you wanted a level below Gelfand, those kind of people are excellent role models for your opening repertoire. Okay, one more game would be nice. I requested it, but didn't start yet. Yeah, it's a bit late. It's a bit later than usual. Tsubami, who's that? Is there a name in there? Nope. Sweden and FMs. That's pretty generic. Okay, to celebrate my book once again, let's go with the Nimzo. Maybe I get the Hübner variation. Yeah, maybe. Knight F3. Nope, no Hübner. This is a line that I have in my book. It's one of the few true innovations of my book, I have to say. There are, I mean, I have many little new ideas. This is Queen D5, Queen D7 is a rare idea. Not so bad. There's a question. What is my opinion about having another sport for being physically trained for a long tournament and others? Yeah, that's an excellent idea. I think it's very, very useful. And I totally agree. It's a great idea to have some sporting activity that you do besides chess. Why does nobody on the top level play the Chigorin defense? Yeah, the knight on c6 is not that well placed. Yeah, it is not a very reliable defense. The Chigorin queens in the Queen's Gambit, I think you probably refer to. It is not a super reliable line. I mean, black can play that. It's not terribly bad, but it is kind of it is tricky. Black has to be very precise, and it just doesn't pay off really on the very top level to play a slightly dicey opening line when you have many good ones available. Yeah, they really feel no need to try something offbeat when there are so many reliable Queen's Gambits and whatever. If you want some fight, yeah, they will often just play King's Indian or something like that. So he has some activity going. Knight g5 in particular. Is this an idea maybe to trade some stuff? It's kind of dangerous here, this position. Yeah, I wonder if I should just take here. Let's do that. It's a bit unconventional, but trading stuff is probably helpful. Knight d4 is a threat now. I'd like to play knight f6 for more trades, but he will have knight g5, which is looking kind of uncomfortable. Maybe it's not such a big deal, but it looks a bit dangerous. At least it was quick what I did. Taking on e2 was a weird decision, actually. There's a question, will I be going to the World Blitz and Rapid in Berlin? Yes, I will. I will go to Berlin, and if I understand correctly, I'm not allowed to play. It's a 2,500 plus only event. But I will be there as a spectator. Are there any chess tools that I wish existed? Interesting. I have no particular idea at the moment. We have excellent tools nowadays, of course, but I don't really, nothing comes to mind in particular. So he traded on c4. That's surprising. That's a question. Who's my all-time favorite player? I don't have one. I really don't. In my youth, I always liked Karpov and Kramnik a lot. Also Fischer. And of the old ones, yeah, Rubinstein is a favorite because he really was revolutionary good at the time for strategic chess. He really was, I mean miles ahead compared to many of his peers in his understanding of the game. So rook c1. Yeah, we get stuff traded. Maybe that rook endgame is nice. One nice point is that I'm about 2.5 minutes ahead on the clock. And I have a good endgame, definitely. So if I go to e7, he has d5. That's unfortunate. So probably this one first. How would I define Emanuel Lasker's playing style? Interesting question. Yeah, Lasker was very, very strong, really strong, and I think he was mostly a pragmatist. He was doing what felt appropriate to him. But first and foremost, he was a really good tactical player. He was a very good calculator and very good in posing practical problems, of course. I don't think, I mean, this mumbo jumbo of talk about him being the great psychological player and so on. I don't know. I mean, he maybe was more of a psychologist than many of his peers by choosing lines, but choosing the right lines of play against certain opponents. But he also was really strong. mostly with calculation. There are really some great games by Lasker where he had where really not much was going on, and then he was simply outplaying the people by taking slight risks, and he got somewhere. Yeah, very often he had positions out of the opening that really sucked because he really was bad in the opening. I mean, Lasker's opening level is probably something like maybe nowadays people with 2100 or 2200 have better openings than Lasker did. This is actually not only due to Lasker, it's also, I mean, Capablanca's openings also were all maybe on master level or so. But what they did afterwards was fantastic. That's a question. Why do I use the white-blue board and not a brown-white or so? The white-blue is so cold. I don't know. I mean, this is the standard ICC look what I have, and in my videos for the channel I do use something that I like. I like that white-blue. It's a bit cold, yeah. I have to agree, but I like the look. What is he doing here? From a classical variation, we transpose to something that looks a lot like a Rogozin. The knight on c6. Interesting. Weird. Okay, so I'm going to take here. Yeah, maybe he wants to, if I go a3, he wants to take and then play that endgame a pawn down. It's an interesting try. Let's do it. Because my pawn structure is not really great. But I'm still not sure about it. I have play on the b file. Let's go c4. I don't know. Is that really enough compensation for black? I don't know. Seems hard to believe. Rook c1, he has b6, I guess. That is his idea. Okay, yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, probably have to do it anyway. So bishop a6, rook c5, king d2 or something like that. Or c6. Yeah, that's equalish. Maybe bishop a6 is actually a move. Knight c6, bishop a6. Interesting. That could be an idea. Takes. It's probably equal. Probably equal. Yeah, knight b5 is not helping me a lot. And bishop b5, he has knight takes d4, unfortunately. Okay. Rook d8, king e2, and then rook c1. I think equal still. There's a question. Have I ever met a title player that has arms full of tattoos? No. I never met one. absolutely never. Sorry for my voice, I'm a bit I have a slight cold. Yeah, I still believe it's around equal. I mean, I don't really see much. Black has 2 against 1 here on the queen side, but my central play is also not bad. G4, maybe. Someone says they have seen chess players full of tattoos, but not titled ones. I don't know. I never thought about getting one. Yeah, I actually think that I'm fine here. My space advantage is helpful. And he has some dependencies in his position. F7 is a weakness. I could have taken, actually, maybe, that pawn, but... Oh, what is this? Is there some kind of connection issue? My ping time is okay, but his clock is not... Someone says... does every move have to do something, or is sometimes best to just make a neutral move? Well, no, not every move has to do something, but most moves will do something, and with good reason. You want to make progress somehow in a game. Okay, that's an interesting choice. Just F4, and he checks me here. Maybe going back is an idea. The bishop moves. Yeah, here I have this check. G5, isn't that ugly here? Where is he going? Bishop E4 is a pretty substantial threat. I don't see where his rook is going. And that's the exchange. Yeah, I think is E6 right here? Or this one? No? This one probably. Getting this activated. Yeah, and he loses this as well. Okay, probably back over here to try to invade on C7 and then go over with the king. At pawn, is that dangerous? Okay, I have to enter with the king. There is no big choice there. Give up a pawn is right, I guess. Now the e-pawn will march. A4, I guess. Oh wait, I hope I'm not screwing this up. I hope that's enough and I'm not miscalculating here. E6, king c3, takes, e7. No, but that is a win. I miscounted. I miscounted this endgame. Oh, how stupid is that? Okay. Okay, let's draw here. Yeah, it's after midnight. Okay. Do I own a nice chess set? I don't know. It's a regular one. Nothing fancy. Cost I don't know. Maybe like 60, 70 dollars, 50 euros. I think it was. Nothing fancy. Yeah, it was a silly game. Yeah, not winning this end game was really silly here. Okay, so we did a slight overtime here, 15 past midnight. I hope you enjoyed this little after football show, and I'll be back again next week, next Monday, probably very likely with the regular time of 10 p.m. Central European time and 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Till next time. Bye.